Right, let's all go. Hi guys, welcome to today's lesson on how to play Good Riddance, open brackets, Time of Your Life, close brackets, by Green Day. Truly one of my favourite songs ever. I remember learning this when I first heard the song in 1997, I think it was, when it came out. I remember hearing it on like MTV or something like that. Loved it straight away. Absolutely love this tune so much. So I'm going to try and go through it. It might be a little bit slower than some other videos because this is going to be in my kind of beginner section, because this is usually the kind of the third or fourth song that I teach. You know, I try and get people doing these arpeggios quite quickly. Okay, cool. So let's crack on and actually do it rather than me talk rubbish. Let's go through the chords for the song first, okay? So the first chord's a G chord. Now, obviously, a lot of people do G chord with just their ring finger on down the bottom there and those two up there. We're not going to do that for this song. We're going to move our ring finger up to the B string 3rd fret, and we're going to put our little finger on the E string 3rd fret, okay? So we end up being 3rd fret on the E up here, then 2nd fret on the A, open, open, 3, 3, okay? And that's just for the arpeggio section later. Next chord's C add 9. We take that shape for G and we just move our first two fingers down, C add 9. Then we're going to do just a normal D chord. Okay? So you will often see in various tabs like G5s and all those different names. We're just going to keep it simple. Normal G, C add 9, D. Okay? The other chords, the only other two chords that you need in the song are E minor. Okay, 2nd fret on the A, 2nd fret on the D, everything else open, and then a normal C chord, which I've done obviously a video on as well, so that's a fun one to learn, that one. That's it, basically, that's my chords, so let's go through. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go through the sequences whilst going through the picking pattern as well, and then I'll just show you the strumming pattern afterwards, because the song starts with a picking pattern. First chord, G. This G is the only chord where we're going to do a whole bar. Everything else is half a bar, okay? So this one's a little bit special. So not this G chord as we described with those two fingers on the bottom. So let's do the arpeggio first. So, E string, low E string there, open G, then I'm going to play B, then G, then D, then G. Okay, so what I'm going to do is there's going to be a cut and you're going to see me playing this with my right hand, and then you'll see me back here in a sec. Okay, so that was me playing the arpeggio kind of slowly and then a little bit quicker. Hopefully that's quite helpful for you guys, and that's going to give us the basic arpeggio. Now again, there's versions where they're super accurate and you can hear that he does it slightly different at times. That's going to be our basic version. It works, it sounds good, and that's how he plays it some of the time in the song as well, okay? So all we're going to do when we move chord is we're just going to move the first note, which is the root note of the chord. But actually the first time through we do it twice, still on this G chord. Okay, then I'm going to move my fingers down for the C add 9, that's the next chord. So it's going to be A string, then G, then B, then G, then D, then G. So it's just that first chord the first note that changes. Then I'm going to move to my D chord, and as you imagine it starts with the D string. So it's going to be D string, then G, then B, then G, then D, then G. Okay, let me just play that through. So that was my right hand playing it. So that's the first sequence. That is basically the intro of the song and the first part of the verse. Okay, so it's a big chunk of the song. Second chord sequence. This is a chord sequence which is in the verse, and we only ever do it kind of twice in a row in the song. E minor chord. So I'm going to do that with my 2nd and 3rd finger. Some people do it 1st and 2nd. That's the way I was taught. The proper way, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, so it's going to be the same picking pattern as we did for the G chord, because we're going to have the root on the E string. So it's E, G, B, G, D, G. Then we're going to go to a D chord, and we're going to do exactly the same pattern as we did before. D, G, B, G, D, G. Then Then we're going to go to the normal C, which has the same picking pattern as a C add 9, which you'd probably expect. So it's A string, then G, then B, then G, then D, then G. Then we're going to go back to a G chord, and we're going to do the same picking pattern as we did right at the start, which is E string, then G string, B string, G, D, G. Okay? We do that whole sequence twice through. It's just once the arpeggio on each. Okay. Nice. Next bit is the chorus. So it's something unpredictable, and in the end that's right. I hope you had the time of your life. That bit. E minor, exactly the same picking pattern as before, obviously. E, G, B, G, D, G. Then to a G chord. E, G, B, G, D, G. Then back to E minor. E string, G, B, G, D, G. And then back to a G chord. E, E, G, B, G, D, G. And then back to an E minor. Just exactly the same as before, and then we're going to go to a D chord, and we're going to do that exactly as we've done it before, which is D string, G string, B string, G string, D string, and G string again. Okay, so we're going to look now is we're going to look at the strummy bits, okay? So, G chord, exactly the same sequence. It's going to be G chord, and as I say, this is the only one we do the full bar on. So this is the sequence we're going to do. 2 downs, and the second down I do a bit of a bigger strum. So the first down's really just the top 3 strings, then it's going to be a bigger strum. Down, 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 up, down, up, down, and then up, down, up, okay? Okay, now this is the important bit. For the next bit, I'm actually going to split the rhythm, but I'm not going to split it halfway through as you'd expect. I'm going to split it just a half a beat earlier, basically, on an up strum, so it makes the chord change a little bit trickier. So I'm going to go down, down again, then I'm going to go down, up, but it's that up strum there, which is the next chord D. So it would be down, 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 up, up, and then I continue the rhythm, up, down, up. Okay? So that's the really tricky bit of this chord sequence, is moving that chord in time, okay? And it's great practice for your right hand, because you've got to get used to your right hand going and your left hand going, and them not always moving at exactly the right time. You don't want to be getting used to going rhythms where you kind of go pause both things as you move. You want to be getting used to going, and then even if it takes you a little bit longer to move chords, your right hand continues going. It's a really difficult skill to do, but that's what we're aiming for. So okay, so the next part of the song is going to be just the same rhythm, and it's actually the same sequence as before. E minor to D to C to G. And again, like before, we're going to split that rhythm with that up strum. So it's going to be down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and then to C. Down, 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 up on the G. Up, down, up. And again, we play that through twice. Then the chorus, E minor, down, 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 up, down, and then we're going to move to the G. So up, down, up, same again, down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, and then E minor to D, same rhythm though, down, 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 up, down, down, up, okay? Okay, so those are the 3 parts of the song with the 2 different patterns, the picking pattern and the strumming pattern. So let's have a very quick talk about the structure of the song. So there's 3 parts. The first bit is the bit that goes G, C, D. So G, C add 9, D I should say. So for the intro, you go through that twice, and that's with the picking. Then the verse proper starts, still with the picking this first time through. We do that same sequence twice more. So that's G, C add 9, D. Okay, and then G, C add 9, D. Then we move to what I've been calling kind of the verse section, which is E minor to D to C to G. And again, we do that twice, still with the picking pattern. And then we do the chorus, which is the E minor to G, E minor to G, E minor to D, still with the picking pattern. And that's our full first time through. Then we go to the strumming pattern, and again, we basically do the whole sequence again. So it's twice through for the G, C add 9, D with the strumming as a kind of interlude between that end of the first chorus and the start of the second verse. And then we start the verse, and we do exactly the same thing. G, C add 9, D twice strumming, and then E minor, D, C, G twice, still strumming, and then we've got the chorus, just E minor, G, E minor, G, E minor, D, all with strums. Okay, so basically it's the same sequence of chords, first time through with picking, second time through all with strumming. Then we've got the kind of the instrumental section, which has that kind of violin-y solo. Same idea in principle to start with. 4 times through that first riff, so as though we're doing an intro and a start of a verse. So that's the G, C add 9, D. Twice through of the second section, which is the E minor, D, C, G. And then the chorus we play through, but he actually comes back and sings the vocals then. So that's just the chorus through once, E minor, G, E minor, G, E minor, D, but he sings the vocals. Then we go back to the first section for 2 more times of the first section. And still strummed, this is all still strummed. And then so that's G, C add 9, D, twice more still strummed. And then we're nearly at the end of the song, and basically we're going to play through the chorus again, which is the E minor to G, this bit, and we go back to the picking here. And then, oh, so I get the chord sequence right. And then we go back and do this first section again twice more. Still picking. And then on the second time, we start to roll, which means we start to slow down. We do the first part of that arpeggio just the same, that's D, G, B. And then I'm going to stay on the G note, 2nd fret G string, play it twice, then open G, and then the G chord. And that's our actual outro. So it's very much the same structure. So the first time through you pick it, the second time through you strum it, the third time through I can't talk, you strum it for the first part, so 4 times through the first bit, C add 9, G, C add 9, D, twice through E minor, D, C, G, and then when you get to the chorus bit, you start picking again, and then you actually then pick the A section again, which is that bit, twice more, then you pick the chorus again, once more, and then you go back to the A section for those 2 picks, and you end it in the way that I just showed you. Really, really simple ending. And that's the whole song. This is a song, as I think I mentioned in the intro, that I teach as like my 3rd, 4th, something like that song. There's quite a lot going on, but I find it just really gives people a good idea of what to expect. So my plan is to link some bits in the bottom with me, basically very short videos of me teaching the chords in case you are real beginners. I haven't got all of the chords up, I've got most of them, and I will in time get all of the chords up, and you'll see the link down below. I'm going to link this also to my beginners section, so you'll be able to follow it through if you start with my beginners and follow it through. So if you find some of these bits difficult, you can go back and find some easier things to practice. But yeah, as usual, thanks for watching the video. I do really appreciate it. I love this song, so definitely give this a go. It's a classic. To me, it's a classic. As usual, please like the video. It really, really helps. Please comment on the video. Again, it really, really helps. You know, I do really appreciate it. Please subscribe to the channel. I can't even talk, but again, it does really, really help, and that's why people always ask you to do it. We really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys soon for some more awesome songs. Bye-bye.